Hi guys, it's Joey Aurora, and I thought I would do a thoughts video about the Fox News story. And I debated whether to do this at all or just leave it, but I thought, just getting comfy, excuse me. Right, so I thought, do I do a video on this, or, I mean, it's pretty huge news within the pagan / Wiccan / witch community, so I thought, well, I'll offer some thoughts. Now, there are two amazing videos. Tiptoe Chick is amazing as usual, but the video that I think is really, really insightful and right on the mark is the video, well, she's got two. The videos by the Violet Cat with a K. So if you haven't seen her videos, go have a look, because she's so insightful and intelligent, and I think it's pretty much on the mark of what came to mind when I heard about these stories and heard what was said and saw people's reactions and whatnot. So, on her points, she says that she does not think that Fox News were poorly informed, that they on purpose released the wrong information in a mocking tone to serve their agenda. I think that's absolutely the case. I think there is no way on the planet they didn't know the truth. You can probably Wikipedia Wiccan holidays and it will tell you how many there are. Excuse me. The information is so easily available now, and the facts and statistics are pretty available as well. I don't remember them, but there was like, I think it was 8 out of 10 cats or a similar program you had to guess what the lowest percentage of religion. Right, you had all a load of religions like listed and who had the lowest percentage in the country. I think that was England. But Wiccan was not that close to the bottom. So I don't know what the exact percentages are. I do know that it has been argued that paganism is one of the fastest growing religions in the UK. I don't know about America. I just don't know. I assume it's the same thing, but don't quote me. So I'm fairly certain that Fox News know the correct information, and the way in which it was presented and misinformation was done on purpose. And the problem is they want to incite a particular kind of reaction. They want people to be really, really angry, and it's justifiable to be angry about the situation. So before, people get annoyed at me for saying you shouldn't be angry, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they want a blown up reaction so they can sit back and go, see, told you they were all Fruit Loops. And I've said that a couple of times today. Like, that's what they want to do. They want to make pagans and Wiccans and whatever, the whole spectrum, they want to belittle them, and they belittle them on this, I don't even know what you call it, news story, I suppose. So they belittle them once, but then uproar means that they can belittle them again. Look, I told you. And you don't see other religions acting out like this. And I absolutely agree with the Violet Cat that there may well be some apology as a result of the petitions going around at the minute. But that will be put somewhere where no one will really see it. It will be like, oh yeah, sorry, we're in a tiny little corner somewhere. Hidden. So the outcry, the uproar, makes pagans and things look bad. So absolutely, this is an indignation. Absolutely be annoyed about it. If it was any other group, religious group, there would be uproar about it, But I think the best thing that people can do is keep calm about it. Sign the petitions by all means. Express your distaste, your disgust. Express it, for sure. Sign the petitions, get behind promoting the correct information that is available. The worst thing we can do is start getting, outblown angry, swearing, insulting, degrading, derogatory remarks, that sort of thing. Because although you can understand why people are that angry about something they love so much, all it's going to do is fuel their argument about how pagans are unreasonable and expect unreasonable things and are Fruit Loops or whatever. The best way we can react is to spread correct information, and to, however this might be, to spread positive and correct information. If that's in the public realm, which YouTube is the public realm, there are other ways of doing it. There's posting on public forums, etc. Or even if it's just living out your life in such a way where you uphold the values to which pagans actually believe. To celebrate life, nature, deity, and if you celebrate those holidays in the spirit in which they are supposed to be celebrated, and not let anybody, least of all people on Fox Network, ruin any of your experience for you. By living by the ideals in which we know to be true, it disproves this nonsense that people might say about us. Now, unfortunately, the people who are mainly targeted by these sorts of stories are people who probably already believe this nonsense, and nothing you're going to say is going to break them out of their prejudice. That's who the people who are really going to absorb this and take it as fact are clearly not people who are interested in the truth, who are going to investigate, research, and I can't put it any clearer than that. They just don't want to know. And you just can't get down to their level because it starts belittling who you are and the pagan community, because if you sink to that level, it gets low, and it just gets it takes away all credibility to be to feel indignant at such remarks. I don't know why this happened. I'm not that up to date on current events in America, and I assume there's a tie-in. There usually is some sort of political agenda behind these sorts of things. Why, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Then again, nasty actions on the hands of anybody tend to surprise me. I don't fully understand it. It's people attacking certain groups of other people for being who they are. It strikes me as against what humanity should be aiming for. It's down in the mud rather than growing with the trees. If I'm making any sense, I don't fully get why we are still there. Like, as evolved as human society is, we are still there. We still have racism, we still have sexism, we still have homophobia, we still have prejudice. And the sad thing is that the word witchcraft and religions of a pagan denomination are easy targets. They know that if they went after a Muslim target, for example, instead of a pagan one, they would be in a heck lot more trouble. They already promote really negative interpretations of there's so much negativity surrounding Muslims in America because of news stories that portray them all as being terrorists. and that, you know, we're not going to get any better treatment as pagans. We're all going to be whatever, Fruit Loops, from the way they were mocking. I mean, in some ways at least they were mocking and not being like, these people are really, really dangerous, go hunt them down, because that would have been even worse. Because they might have been mocking us, but we can mock straight back and be like, these are the facts. At least get your facts straight. You're supposed to be a news show. Well done. And that allows us to laugh at them rather than it to be a really scary situation, which it could still escalate into, and that's what some people are afraid of. And I understand that 100%. We do not want religious persecution of any description at all. Obviously, they've said something about only in America, and I can't help but thinking that there's a lot of religious freedoms in England as well. I don't know about university holidays. The pagan holidays weren't in the university calendar when I was there, but this is some years ago, so it might have caught up with the times. I don't know. I don't know. All them information was just so lacking in credibility that it just seems wrong for me to sit here and pick it apart, because it's all just nonsense. It's just nonsense. And I think the thing behind it is that you have to bear in mind that this was done on purpose, and not to play into their hands, because if you play into their hands, you make yourself look bad, you make the pagan community look bad. There's no point effing, swearing, blinding. It's not going to achieve anything. It's just going to make it worse. Yeah. So I just thought I would offer my brief thoughts on it. If you want a really great video, go watch the Violet Katz videos, because I can't say it better than she said, and I don't want to sit here repeating everything she said, because she's already said it, and it's really good. So yeah, brilliant videos, absolutely amazing. So I don't really want to keep covering the same ground. But I will say, just don't blow up. It's absolutely fine. Sign the petitions. Raise awareness and phrase yourself in such a sense where this is derogatory. Why you wouldn't do this to other religions? Why would you do it to us? Or this sort of poorly informed news story is beneath a national news station. This sort of derogatory attitude is beneath current standards of humanity. This shouldn't be the way that America is portraying itself through the story of news to the rest of the world. I don't know how well known it is, but at least in England, the American news shows are regarded as being a bit of a farce, more so than other news shows around the world, because they misinform, because it's all very, like it's staged, like it's dramaed, like it's sensationalized, and that's how it's portrayed in England. Our news isn't great either, because we tend to have news story, fluffy bunny at the end to make people feel better about the news stories, and it's just daft. But that's not helping your image as a news show either. So, you know, the American people deserve better. Pagans deserve better. Everybody else deserves better, because they're being misinformed. The people that are going to take this and run with it in a religious, bigoted way, and in a prejudicial way, it doesn't matter where they get their information from, those sorts of people. I mean, the fact it's available, this information was available so on a huge scale, is shocking. But those sorts of people, it doesn't matter. The people who would really be aggressive about paganism anyway, they're going to find it from somewhere and run with it. But they're just a few thoughts. So try and Try and rise above their level is what I would suggest to people. Don't, you know, slander and bitch and moan and call them names and get down in the mud and stuff, because you as a pagan can be much better than they are. They have made themselves, or the people higher up than them, you know, who told them to do it, have made them look like imbeciles for the world to see. So measure a pity for them even, but don't descend to it. Don't F and blind, and it's not needed, because we need to show the world that pagans aren't like that. We're not scrounging for a load more holidays. We're not, was it middle-aged dungeon keeper players or something? Well, I'm 27, sticking at 25. So. And a lot of people on YouTube are not middle-aged, twice divorced Dungeon and Dragon players. I actually like Dungeon Keeper, it was a video game. Oh, end on a high note. Rise above them. Don't give them any more ammunition. Yeah, I think that will be it. A lot of what has been said is already out there, and I cannot add more than has already been said. So that's really fantastic. So The Violet Cat is really fantastic. Go check it out. And that would be it for me for this subject. I do have a whole ton of webcam recorded material that will probably all come up later, so it'll be a huge of information from me today, and people will be like, what has she been on? Crazy pills and water. Just water, to be honest. So that's it for me. So wherever you are in the world, be chilled. Don't let them get to your soul. They're not worth it. Many blessings.